Summer is coming, and with it come all the troubles of, do I have a beach body or am I ready to go to the beach? The answer is, you know. You know if you have a beach body or not. And before you even say, oh, well, everybody is a beach body, everyone is equal and whatnot, think about it. Think about, without discriminating or lowering someone and putting someone else on a pedestal, whether this statement is true. Whether when you go to the beach and you see a body that has taken years to chisel and build and that is really attractive in comparison to a body that is not well taken care of and that is not as attractive. And you will make this obvious distinction if you are not conditioned and brainwashed. And how you will know if you're conditioned or brainwashed is if you convince yourself that something that is clearly not attractive, both to you and someone else, is. For example, looking at a woman that is in tights and the fat is pouring out of those tights, but she's wearing tights, therefore she thinks that she's more attractive than she is. And therefore the image reinforced in the society when observing this woman is that, okay, maybe she has some qualities and they are to be emphasized through what she is wearing. Wrong. We are not primarily concerned with appearances, although they are obvious and apparent. We are concerned with health and what is healthy. And we seem to have forgotten that as a consequence of this absurd movement called the body positivity movement. Now, when this first came out, I was very confused, having been someone who was obese as a child and up to 2 years ago, not happy with my body and not satisfied with who I am, not because I did not love myself, but simply because being in such a body made me less capable of fulfilling certain tasks to my utmost capacity and performance and leveling up to the desired ambitions that I had. That would have been much more easier to fulfill if I had the physical capacities and aspects of health related to me having that body, which I do have today. Why? Because I worked for it for years, went to the gym, had a good diet, good sleep, good habits, and therefore I improved my overall health. Am I better than someone else who doesn't do this? Of course not. But the idea here is that we have to agree commonly as mankind, which is a very, very big mission as far as I'm concerned, objectively on what is health, what is healthy, and what isn't. And then to have an even broader discussion of what is considered attractive. Why am I so concerned with the element of attraction? Because the body positivity movement has specifically targeted women, and it only deals with women's attractiveness, as resulted in the following example. Now, when you look at this picture, you will see something that you might find attractive or not. I personally don't. Even though I believe there is an inherent beauty in this woman, there is an inherent beauty and something to be seen above, of course, the physical aspect of one's existence. However, the reality of the dating market and this particular individual's sexual market value, which I will elaborate in a separate video, is that it is not consistent with what is considered to be the utmost attractive qualities in a woman, which is, and I'm not going to be a regular guy saying this, but being fit, being curvy, and having a clear skin. So clear apparent signs of youth and health and fertility. And also, please don't forget that obese women and women that are fat have much lower chances of giving birth, especially giving birth to a healthy child. So we have to take these things into consideration when choosing our partners and mates. This is not discrimination based on bodily choice or bodily preference. This is a conscious, intelligent choice based on logic and reason. And much more than that, but primarily those two, because as a man, you should not have to choose or be put in a position to choose a partner or a mate that you are not attracted to, that you literally don't want to have sex with. And once you do, in order to procreate, then you want to make sure that this woman has the highest possible prerequisites for delivering a healthy child, and her herself, of course, being as little harmed by the pregnancy and childbirth as possible. What we have done as society in 21st century is we have coddled women so much to the point that we've put them on a pedestal regardless of their choices and the consequences of their choices, and especially in this case in terms of health. Because you will not see men put on magazine covers that are obese, because that is simply not something that is considered important or relevant. You don't trust me? Go to any website that has underwear or any other kinds of male models and see if you can find one overweight or obese male model. And I will wait for you in the comments to put a screenshot or a link to that. And if you do, kudos. Otherwise, you will see numerous categories of women's underwear, plus size underwear, pregnant women, respect for that, of course, pregnant women's underwear or clothes. But you will have these different model sizes for women that are acceptable. But what is acceptable for men, check the double standards, is that there is only this one, say, archetype, which is a fit man that can fit in this suit or shirt. And there we can identify the hypocrisy of this movement, which is clearly targeted to improve and pedestalize women's sexual market value that is primarily sexual, that is primarily in their bodies. And as much as this might be bitter truth or a hard pill to swallow, it is how we behave as society and as a species. We cannot brainwash ourselves, other men, to be attracted to something that is not attractive, because it is just not attractive. There is beauty in every body, in every living organism in life. But there are also categories and hierarchies. And if you do not fulfill certain criteria of attractiveness, of any aspect of your existence or where you want to be, then you're simply not that person. So you're convincing yourself and living in an overlay reality, thus being detached from your current reality, and are surprised by the results. If you are a woman who is single, over 30 and overweight, you shouldn't be surprised by that, because that is simply the outcome of your own decisions and choices. And same goes for you if you are a man. If you are a man who hasn't been working on himself, hasn't improved, hasn't been hitting the gym, hasn't been eating healthy, doesn't have good habits, is addicted, has addictions, you're most likely in this category too. And that is not inherently good or bad. This is simply the reality of it, and we shouldn't convince ourselves that it's not. So, we have done this awful thing of convincing each other and the entire world that something which isn't attractive is attractive. Yes, beauty standards change over time, but don't forget that it is the opposite sex that decides attraction. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean exactly what I said. It is women who decide what is attractive in men, and it is men who decide what is attractive in women. It is not, these things are not imposed. I've heard countless women constantly complain about, well, I don't want to wear high heels. I don't want to have to work out to be considered beautiful and attractive. I don't want to have to wear dresses or I don't want to work out in this and this manner to be attractive. That is your choice, and always has been and always will be. If you want to make yourself attractive to the opposite sex, that is the game that you choose to play. And if you don't want to be a part of that game, you can always check out of that. But you have no right to go tell other women what they should and shouldn't do. And I've met some very bitter women in my life that go and tell other women that they should not invest in themselves. And guess what? These are the same kinds of women that don't look very well, don't take good care of themselves, and are predominantly single or unhappy in their relationships, or unfulfilled at worst. So you decide what is best for you and for your optimal health, and what your sexuality is to you. In opposition, of course, to the opposite, in contrast to the opposite sex. Because if you want to be attractive, I am quite certain that you know exactly what you need to do, and that no one else needs to tell you that. But blaming men, or us men blaming women for our, shall we say, dating successes or relationship contentment or personal contentment, is not the right way to go. We have responsibility and agency over our own bodies. Our bodies are a reflection of our health and who we are. If I don't have a strong body, that means I haven't been using my body to become stronger. That means I have been doing something else. But if I do want a woman with a beautiful body, don't you think I should have a beautiful body too? Because that will make perfect sense to me. And if your argument is, well, I deserve this and that because I'm like this, because I simply deserve it. Yes, that is the same message that sold women this lie. And this is something that men start to believe too as they become more feminized. I am worthy as I am. Yes, you are, just not in the sexual dating market. Because your sexual market value is not to be conflated with your personal value and worth. You are perfectly worthy as you are, and you're perfectly fine as you are. But if you want to compete with other members of your sex, then you have to put in this work and put yourself out there if you want to get the mate and the partner that you want. And that is the bitter reality. That is the bitter truth. And I'm not the only one telling you this. You will hear this from numerous other sources. Sorry that I had to be the messenger. That was all for today. I hope that you're working on your summer body. I am. And let me know your opinions. And please rest assured that, or please have in mind that nothing that I say should be true to you. I create content so that people can question it for themselves, and so they can be challenged and can engage in critical thought. If you have an idea, if you have a comment, please put it below and let's discuss and explore together. Don't take what I say as true, explore it on your own. Is this true? Is it not? Maybe? And share with me the results of that so we can explore that together. I will make another video soon on a similar topic, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.